What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to show you every single feature that you can code into your BMW G80 M3 using Bimmercode, and this also works for the G87 M2 and G82 M4. And since this is an M3 instead of an M340 or 330, there isn't a whole lot of features that you can code into this car, but there still are some very important things that make just living with this car, especially if you use it as your daily driver, so much easier. From custom ambient lighting colors to immersive sound settings, there's a whole lot that you can do in this car to not only make it how it should have come from factory, but since this is my daily, it has made it a whole lot easier to daily and a whole lot easier to do some very basic things that I think it should have come with already. Before you start, you're gonna need two things. First of all, you need the Bimmercode app on your phone, the full version, not the free version that's on the App Store. You have to download the free version and then purchase the full version in the app, and this will unlock you the full version and every single feature that you can code into your car using Bimmercode. And second, you'll need a supported OBD plugin. I'm using the MHD adapter. This might be a good opportunity to purchase any adapter that you might be using for your tune in the future if you do plan on tuning your car. I plan on using MHD when I eventually tune this thing, so I decided to get the MHD adapter just for this. You can also use the boot mod adapter or the XHP adapter if you have the XHP adapter for your transmission. And that's really it. You just plug in your adapter, connect to it on your phone, and let's start the coding process and see every single feature they have for the G80 M3. Before you start, disconnect from the Apple CarPlay on your car because you don't want the Wi-Fi signal from that to go ahead and interfere with the MHD adapter or whatever Bimmercode adapter you're using. Triple tap the start-stop button to put your car into diagnostic mode 3 times. So you're at Bimmercode, hit connect, hit the MHD universal Ethernet adapter or whatever adapter you have. They have the XHP adapter on here if you have that. BM3 adapter, Ethernet cable, a couple other things. Hit connect in the bottom right, hit BMW 3 Series M3 sedan or the M4 or M2 or whatever car you have, hit continue. All right, so we're gonna go step by step and figure out what options you need to put on your G80. There's not a lot on here because I said this car is a top trim model, meaning that it's an M3, not an M340, not a 330, 335, so it has most of the things that other BMWs come with already. My car also is almost fully spec'd out, so it has pretty much every option that you could possibly have on here, but there are a lot of things on here that make living with this car so much easier that you need to activate or even deactivate. With the MHD adapter, it also loads way faster than if you have like an OBD-Link CX. That's the one I used in my M340 video, but this one is way faster. This is everything I have on here right now. I have the seatbelt reminder for the driver's seat not active. I have this deactivated because if I'm moving my car around in just a parking lot or something and I don't want to put my seatbelt on like right away, if I'm just moving from spot to spot or just moving the car around, that it's not going to annoy me, so I really do like this. I also have the seatbelt reminder for the passenger seat active because my girlfriend sometimes doesn't like to wear her seatbelt or even just forget. So for her safety, I always keep that active, and if you have a passenger that you regularly goes in your car and always forgets to wear their seatbelt or doesn't like to, I'd recommend you go ahead and keep that active. For everything else, I have, as you see on the screen, PDC I didn't mess with, the rear view camera didn't mess with, the seatbelt reminder is the only thing that I changed. And that's it. So we're gonna go back and then we're gonna go to air conditioning, which I don't really think there's anything in here. Yeah, there's really nothing in here. If your car doesn't have air circulation setting memory to active, then go ahead and click that active, because every time you get back into the car, it's gonna remember everything that you had put for the climate controls from the last time you drove the car. Next up is body domain controller. I believe there is a lot of important things that you need to code in under this, so we're going to go ahead and check out what that is. So ambient lighting color, I have orange obviously because my car is an individual fire orange. There are a bunch of other ones. A lot of people do magenta or magenta red. I'm just going to keep it on orange because that's what I want. I also have an LCI M3, so I'm going to select the bottom 2 up here instead of the top 2, but I just really put everything in orange because it doesn't matter. Daytime running lights with the tail lights I have set to active. That's kind of important to me because when I turn my DRLs on, if I'm in a parking lot, the tail lights will also turn on as well. Horn signal when locking the car, we have it set to active. We're going to set this to not active because it is the most annoying thing ever when I'm say leaving for a car meet or something early in the morning and I accidentally press the button to lock my car and then it makes the double honk sound. It is so annoying. And also, if I want to lock my car but just run into a store real quick to grab something and not have my car robbed, I can also do that without it honking twice. I have that set to not active. That is very important to me. Time until automatic unlock, you can adjust this 1 minute, 2 minute. I just have it set to 2 minutes. Window lifter interruption when opening the door. I'm going to set this to not active because if I'm coming home and I want to get out of my car and I have my windows down and I open my door first, then I have to hold this button on the driver's side in order for my window to go all the way up. So we're going to have that set to not active in order for that to not happen because it's one of the most annoying things about this car in my opinion. Lane change assistant, don't think my car has that, nor do I really care about that because we're not using our blinkers anyways. We're BMW owners. Speed limit warning I have set to active just so I can know when I'm actually speeding in case there's cops around. Okay, default driving mode, this is where you might want to code it in to start up in sport mode. For me personally, I'm not tuned, which means I do still have a cold start, so my car is pretty loud because it has catless downpipes and a single length mid pipe. So I personally just leave it to comfort. You can just press the M2 before you start up if you want that. Also, this car is really fuel inefficient, so I don't drive it in sport mode every day, unfortunately. For Sport Plus driving mode, I already have Sport Plus mode in my car, so I'm not really going to to mess with it. You could activate it and see what it does. I don't really think it'll do anything. The only thing I don't have Sport Plus, I'm looking at it right now, is my steering and braking. And so that's pretty much it. We're going to hit code and start coding. Everything should be good. All right, coding successful, so you can turn the lights back on. Engine control unit, there's really nothing in here either. Auto start stop function, memory active. Head unit, I know head unit is pretty important, so we're going to take a look at what we have in here. The most important setting that you need to code into your G series BMW M car is the Bowers and Wilkins sound settings. This is going to unlock you the immersive sound profiles, and it's going to let you fine tune your stereo system to whatever type of music you listen to. For tire pressure control, I have it set to display temperature and pressure, so I get the maximum trackness out of my BMW. Don't need lane change assistant. We don't change lanes, we stay in the left lane. Video via USB. What you can do is you can download like a video, even a movie, onto a USB like flash drive, or maybe even like a portable hard drive, and you can take it, and right in here in the center console you can plug it into the USB-C right here, or I believe even right where the cup holders are. That will allow you to play whatever you want on your screen as long as it's on that hard drive. So that's really cool. I think I'm going to set that to active because I can literally download a movie and watch it while I'm driving, which I don't recommend. Obviously that's totally illegal, but if you wanted to do that for educational purposes, go ahead and do it. Receiver audio module, this is also a very important one. Active sound design, turn that off. That is horrible. It's pumped in fake audio. Click not active. It also shows you the steps here to go ahead and fully turn that off. I have it fully turned off, so I'm not going to show you everything right here. It says if the coding has no effect, please also deactivate the ASD activation code. Select receiver audio module, control unit, select activation codes at the bottom of the screen for 01B4. Definitely delete this. Go ahead and get yourself like a mid-pipe or something, because the active sound design is like the worst thing. I'd rather hear nothing. I'd rather my car sound like a Tesla. So everything under here, the startup sound, the burbles, downshift, whatever, all of that is under active sound design. If you have active sound design turned off, then none of this stuff will even matter. So don't worry about that if you have active sound design turned off. OBD alarm active. OBD alarm, this is if somebody is trying to steal your car and like copy a key. I keep that active because I live in New York. I don't want that to happen. But if you have an MHD adapter and you want to leave it plugged in, which you can, I used to leave my EcuTech adapter, my M340, my Supra in all the time, and it didn't really matter. But for safety reasons and for not getting your car robbed with the newer BMWs, if you leave something plugged in, they will alert you. So you can choose to deactivate this if you want to keep your MHD plugged in. Tailgate function module, we're going to go ahead and check what's in there. The most important thing to me in here is close tailgate with button with the interior without long press. I have that set to active, so instead of having to pull and hold the button every time in order for the tailgate to close, you just press it once or pull it once and it's going to go ahead and close. Now let me show you some of the features that we just coded into the car. My favorite one has to probably be the ambient lighting. You can pick whatever ambient lighting color there is on there. I went with orange. A lot of people choose the magenta red. I think that one looks amazing, but my LCI BMW actually has something very similar like that, flamingo. So I go ahead and just use that instead of the magenta red. So I coded the first one, which is ivory, to go to orange. Next up is the immersive sound settings. What you're going to want to do is navigate over to your apps, click vehicle apps, navigate over to system settings, and then you're going to want to scroll down to where it says sound. Right here, click sound, and then it's going to allow you to do so many different things like sound profiles. In sound profiles, you can adjust whichever one you like. I personally keep it on concert, but this is going to differ depending on what kind of music you listen to. Sometimes studio sounds nice, but I really like concert. It makes me feel like I'm actually there with the music. On stage is pretty good. I don't really like rear, but put on whatever music you like to listen to and then kind of adjust it depending on what that sounds like. Going back, you also have immersive sound. So this is going to allow you to change the sound intensity. I personally keep it all the way in the max. All this other stuff was already here, so we don't really have to change anything. You can mess around with your equalizer settings as well. These are mine. The next thing you could have done is make it start up in sport mode. I don't do that because my car is not tuned and it does have an exhaust on it, so it would be insanely loud every single time I started it, so I just keep that at comfort mode. I also really like the feature that you can put up and down the driver window with the door open, so now I can finally do that. Don't know why that wasn't a feature standard. The next thing is the trunk. You can open and close the trunk with just this. Obviously it's going to open up, but now I don't have to hold it. All I have to do is pull it once. Very easy, and it'll close. And the very last thing I want to show you is the video in motion. So I do have my hard drive connected right here. You don't have to have a hard drive, just a USB either plugged into here or maybe in the center console right here, the USB-C you can see down there. I believe it does have to be connected directly to the car, so you can't use like an adapter like this and then connect it in there. So we're gonna go ahead and click media right here, and then we're gonna see my passport. That's my hard drive, and I just have a bunch of my videos saved on here, so we're gonna go down and find the impact video. Go ahead and click that. There we go. You can even click skip ahead if you want. You can literally put movies on here, YouTube videos, whatever you want. This is a 500 gigabyte hard drive, so it can hold quite a lot. Now, you can't do this while driving, only in parks. So if you're on your lunch break and you're just chilling in your car, you can go ahead and click whatever, watch a video. Now, besides Bimmercode, if you want to know every single thing there is to know about this car, the G80 M3, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button because I have tons of videos on my channel. And if by chance you have a B58 powered car and you want to know every single thing there is to know about that car, then go ahead and watch the videos on my channel, or watch these two videos right here because it's what YouTube thinks you should watch next. So I'm Ryan from Gears and Gains. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.